All right, this video is going to show you how to unload and load filament with Bambu Lab A1 Mini and A1 printers using an external spool. So this printer does not have an AMS, and we're using the external spool in the back. This one has an AMS, but you need to make sure that you're printing from the external spool, having this little, I think it's a Bowden tube or something like that, that goes into this right here. So also work with an A1 as long as you are using the external spool, and the Bowden tube goes into the hot end. So we're going to start on the main screen here. We're going to click on Filament, and we're going to say unload because we currently have printer in there, and then it kind of walks you through it. It's pretty basic. It's going to heat the nozzle, and then it will kind of guide you through the process. Make sure that you double check what kind of filament you have. So make sure that if it's PLA, you select PLA, and if it's PETG, make sure that you select that as you put it in. And again, we're printing from the external spool, single color, and making sure that the tube goes into the hot end here. All right, so once it has heated up, it says action required, and it's going to say please remove the filament from the extruder. And so we're going to reach up here and we're going to pull this out. It's very important that as you pull it out, you're cautious to make sure that it's not going to snap back on the roll and get tangled up in the future. So I'm trying to do this with one hand, but you're going to wrap it around. Make sure that you put it in the side tube there. When I say side tube, I mean these little things to lock it in place. All right, and at this point, we can take the new filament and make sure that it's not tangled. And we're going to put it on the external spool back here, and we're going to feed it through. I'm actually going to turn around this way so it kind of goes up from the bottom into that tube. And make sure it doesn't get tangled. So I'm going to push it all the way through. It's going to go up through this tube. You can kind of see that going up there. And push it all the way up until it comes down here. All right, once it won't go any farther, then I can go here and I can say load. And it's going to heat up the nozzle, and it will continue going through these steps, and it will give you guidance as needed. All right, so the screen now says to check the nozzle, see if it has extruded. If I look over here, it is extruding, but it's not coming out as the gray that it should be. So I might say retry and just double check and make sure that it's going to do what it needs to do. And now it says push the new filament into the extruder. So I'm going to reach back here and I'm going to kind of shove it in. And then I'm going to say retry. Okay, notice that it's been a while, so now it has to reheat before it does this whole thing. But once it reheats, I'm going to make sure that I'm pushing back here, and so that way it's getting good pressure and it can kind of begin to pull its way through. And so I'm pushing, I can feel it moving up, and then over here it should be kind of, that thing should spin, and I didn't see anything coming out, so I'm going to say retry again, and then it's going to start pushing it through. You can see this thing spinning, still not doing it, so I'm going to say retry again, push it, you can feel it getting pulled through, and finally you can see it starting to do a little bit more. And so at this point I would say probably that it's done. All right, and then it's going to finish the job. It's going to purge the old filament, and then you should be ready to print.